So after a lot of uncertainty and delays, we're finally at the season 2 finale of Amphibia True Colors. Now, I will be honest and say that I've seen some of the spoilers just from like trolls being trolls, which sucks, but you know, hey, what are you gonna do? Either way, I'm just super excited to see what Matt and the crew have come up with, because they all seemed really, really excited for this episode. And I don't think anything good is gonna happen in this episode. I think it's just going to be all bad things. I can't see anything going well here. Yeah, so not looking forward to that, but like I am, but also I'm not, because I think Anne is gonna get screwed over in this episode. So yeah, but yeah, not good things are in our future. Not good things, but I'm super excited. So yeah, here we go. You always know it's gonna be an insane episode when they just skip the intro. They're like, yep, we need every single second of this. And I know this is gonna be the longest episode because I think it's like 24 minutes because they just needed all that time. We're starting off with the flashback already? Oh, God. Oh, this is Anne's birthday from Marcy's perspective. Oh, God. She found out about it, and she knew what it was gonna do. Oh, no. Marcy, you screwed everybody over.
Marcy, wait!
Get back here, young lady.
Oh, my God. What? Oh, she's like, yeah, let's travel to other worlds. Boy, Marcy. You knew what this was gonna do. Wow. I wonder what everyone's reaction to Marcy is gonna be. That she basically trapped them all there?
Right,
everyone's screwing each other over.
First,
except Anne. Anne's the only good one in all this. Sasha and Marcy screwing people over.
Copy that.
Will do.
Uh-huh. Yeah, sure. They're definitely not gonna betray you.
Almost makes you wish it could last forever, huh?
Oh no.
I'm not sure I'd go that far.
Is she gonna try and convince them to stay?
Cool. This is the end.
No, it's not. There's a season 3.
That'll be awesome.
People may not react well to talking frogs and frog robots. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Sasha, what are you doing?
What betraying you? Yeah, wow, your guards are great. They got beaten one hit. Okay, Angie.
Maybe I don't want to go home.
Yeah, she doesn't want to go home.
Maybe I want to stay here.
Yeah, that's what she wanted. I knew this was a thing. Oh man, you're gonna like break his kneecap. Jeez. Well, this is just going so well. Just so great so far. Oh, they got like a plan. Oh man, Marcy, what's your plan now?
You guys good? Good?
No.
Are you serious?
No.
Sheesh, don't be a but I can totally send you two home if you want. I'm done listening to you. I'm done trusting you.
Yeah.
You're a horrible person.
Yes.
And I am done being friends with you.
Yes. Yes.
I don't mean that.
No, I think she does.
No, Marcy, we can't.
No.
Well,
We need something else.
But you hear me? This isn't over.
Anne's gonna kick your butt.
She is such a jerk. I
Yep.
just wanna slow down.
Hit her with a sword. Oh, hey, General Yunan. Up, here we go. Yep. Give me the spiel.
Her name is Yunan. She's very important. Blah blah blah. We don't have time for this. Come on.
There, those two characters interacted, guys. You're happy now, those who ship Yunan and Lady Olivia. Oh, Sal's. I'm glad we're coming back here. It's gonna be the base of operations, I guess.
Work through our emotional baggage and finally redesign the current political system so that this sort of uprising never happens again.
We can definitely do that in an hour. Come on, Anne.
you guys.
Yeah, say something inspirational.
Well, except for you guys. I'm sure they think very highly of you two.
Yeah.
They do. Just continue your
Yes,
speech.
they do.
Who's ready to kick some toad butt?
Yeah.
Oh, Charles!
Glad to see those acting skills coming in to play here. Hop up. Yeah.
Oh, and take Yunan and Frobo with you.
Yeah, those are probably two good options to have on that team. Oh my gosh. The Wilhelm scream, yes.
Ready for one last adventure? Spraying against the world.
Nope, there's gonna be more. I know you guys don't know this, but there's a season 3. Oh, do you have weak nerd arms too? Yeah, Frobo will probably help. Frobo can't even push it? Frobo lifted an entire restaurant. Oh yeah, sucks doesn't it, Sasha? Ooh.
How'd you know I wanted
Oh, dang it, I didn't get a gift receipt.
Ah, this Toad Dad. Some interior decorating. That's what you're gonna start with after taking over a kingdom? Oh. How convenient that this evil mural is there. Is Sasha gonna figure out about Andrias' plan and then try and convince Anne that she's not a bad person, and then like Anne's not gonna believe her? Okay,
Whoa,
yeah.
I don't want to fight. See?
Does he want to fight? I don't think you do, Sprig.
Expect me to believe you?
Yeah.
After all the
You've
lying
kind of
and
dug yourself
manipulating you've done?
in a hole,
Sorry,
Sasha.
Just try to stop me!
Okay. The girls are fighting. Oh, jeez, that could... Oh my gosh, Sprig! Sprig, you could very easily die from this too. You know, maybe, Sasha should have conveyed, hey, don't kill Sprig. Ooh, that is a broken face. Oh, yep, Cape kind of worked against you there.
Please, don't give it to him! Silence!
Oh, that's not a trustworthy face.
I was weak, trusting those who said they were my friends, and because of that, the missing box was taken under my watch.
Picture in the basement.
Well, that's nice.
No, this is very ominous, Hop Hop. This is fine. Everything's gonna be good. Don't even worry about it. Oh, it's just like a moving city. It's a flying moving city. This is like definitely like Breath of the Wild, and it's even stranger because Breath of the Wild 2 has Hyrule Castle like going up into the sky. So this is actually very coincidental.
Wouldn't want you telling anyone about the coming invasion.
What?
Now that I have the box back,
Earth?
I can...
Yeah, boy, what are you gonna do now? Oh!
Nope.
Wow.
Andrias, this wasn't the plan. You said no one would get hurt.
Yeah.
Hate to break it to you, kiddo, but you've been duped.
Marcy's gonna not take this well.
To the new worlds that we could have amazing adventures just like this one forever and ever. But
Marcy,
Why?
It can't be.
basically trapped
Looks
your
like I spilled
friends
the tea, as you
here
kids say.
because you wanted an adventure.
for
Man, that interview, you said Amphibia's wish fulfillment, and you do this.
where the three of us could be friends forever together.
Gosh.
But
Yeah,
look at
that
how
was a
much
selfish
fun we've had.
decision.
Look at how much you've both grown. Look at Sprig. I gave you this. I gave you everything.
Oh, gosh. Man, it's gonna be really interesting to see how everyone's gonna react to Marcy's decision.
Right here, right now.
Oh, just solo?
Sasha,
Okay,
I've
no,
got your
alright.
back.
Let's have some
Ooh,
fun.
fire sword. That's nice that they're actually like working together for reals, not just, I'm pretending to be your ally to only betray you. Lady Olivia, you don't have any special skills or anything like that? Yeah, Marcy, you gotta redeem yourself here. Probably when your leg's gonna come in. Oh, probably right now. Oh.
Look at that.
Oh. Wow. Okay. Bye, Frobo.
You monster!
Oh, now do the legs grow in?
Next.
How'd you get little teeny tinies?
Got her leg. Oh!
Oh, jeez.
My little baby's got legs.
Yeah. This is a very conflicting emotions because Frobo's dead, but she's got her legs. She got her little legs. She's also very good at using them for just getting them.
But this ends now.
Oh, Sprig, why'd you get captured? It's gonna drop him anyway.
Allow me to
You know,
demonstrate.
they probably left because you're an evil, crazy guy. I mean, I figured he was gonna drop Sprig anyway. Oh wait, is this like where her powers are gonna come in? Cause she didn't drain all of her powers all the way. Oh, it's the shot from the ending theme. Yeah, I figured that power thing was gonna come back and help them. Oh wow, Marcy just... Oh right, you have Joe Sparrow, that's right.
Maybe it's a human thing.
I wish. Oh, wow.
Give him back.
Oh, man.
Give him.
Oh man, she's like going Super Saiyan. It's cool that you had those leaves and branches in your hair so they can grow and look extra awesome. I wonder if in the next season they're gonna like try and connect themselves to the gems again? That was also the best animation that we've seen out of the entire series so far.
Marcy?
I have to admit,
I mean, she didn't want you guys dead. She made a really bad decision, but are they gonna get separated? Are some of them gonna stay here and then some of them are gonna make it back?
I just need to...
Oh, man.
For everything.
Marcy!
Oh, man. Are they back? They're back on Earth?
What?
Just them? And then Marcy and Sasha are back in Amphibia? End of part 2. Oh, great. Oh, nice. Yeah, like a nice little beautiful ending theme for just, all the chaos that just happened. Okay, so they have the Calamity Box. Marcy might be dead. Sasha's still in Amphibia, so now Marcy and Sasha are gonna have to figure out a way to get back. And Anne's gonna have to figure out a way to get back to them. Wow. That was a lot. I could see why it needed to be 24 minutes long, because that would have been yeah. Oh wow. I mean, Frobo's dead. I mean, that was a robot though, but I mean, man, Marcy getting stabbed. Wow. That was a lot. But that was the best episode. So after being delayed 3 weeks, we finally have the official release of True Colors. And all the hype that Matt and the crew were building up was well deserved, because this was by far the best episode of the series so far. So Matt and the Amphibia crew, if you guys end up seeing this, congrats on making such an amazing episode. I'm sorry the situation leading up to its release wasn't the best, but I'm happy that your original vision for the episode was left intact, and you guys should be incredibly proud because you all knocked it out of the park. So without further ado, let's get into it. We start this episode off with a flashback from Marcy's perspective on Anne's birthday, where she stumbles across a book called Dr. P's Extraordinary Guide to Magic and Mystery that mentions the Calamity Box. We know the book that Hop Hop has about the box has been in the family as long as he can remember, and now I'm wondering if the Dr. P for this book is related to the Plantars in some way. Also, there's a little Easter egg of Bill Cipher from Gravity Falls and Goliath from Gargoyles in the book. Marcy doesn't think much of it at first, but once Marcy learns that her parents intend to move and she stumbles across the box in the thrift shop, she sees this as an opportunity to try and stay with her friends. Funny enough, this scene is the only thing I would change in this episode, not the scene itself, but when the flashback happens in the episode. Because later on, when we get the reveal from Marcy, we already knew that she was aware of the box in the beginning. If we had absolutely no idea Marcy knew about it when she has to confess, I think the reveal would have had a bigger impact. It's still shocking either way, but I think changing the order would have added an extra punch. But this brings us to the present with the gang returning to Newtopia. And we can even see Marcy trying to push the idea of leaving Amphibia as bittersweet since it means their adventures will be over. Which Anne is not too convinced, the exception being Sprig, Hop Hop, and Polly. And then we get some very foreboding foreshadowing. Yeah, they'll visit your world, Anne, just not in the way that you'd expect. But this brings us to Sasha and Grimes' betrayal, and it works pretty well at first, even capturing Andrias. Now, from Sasha's perspective, everything is going great and according to plan, even thinking that Marcy and Anne will be okay with the situation. And this has always been something in character with Sasha. As long as she gets what she wants, she thinks everybody will be happy and go along with it. It's really not until Anne stands up to Sasha and says that she doesn't want to be friends with her anymore that she seems to even consider the fact that she is wrong. And Sasha definitely doesn't like being wrong, so rather than talk things out, she tries to send Anne back to Earth. However, she is unable to. It's not entirely clear why it doesn't work. Marcy tries something later on in the episode, but we don't see exactly what made the box work. Hopefully that will get elaborated on more next season. But with the box not working, this leaves the opportunity for the whole gang to team up to stop Grime and Sasha. We see the return of General Yunnan and Lady Olivia, which was nice even if their appearances were brief. I also like that we go back to Sal's place. That could have easily been a one-off location, but bringing it back even if it was only for one scene was nice. Something else I enjoyed was that it was Anne who inspired everyone. She knows the right things to say, and in this situation is the glue that is keeping everyone together. And so begins the plan of stopping the rebellion, which Anne also comes up with. And we get some fun pairings here with Hop Hop, Lady Olivia and Marcy, and Polly, Frobo, and General Yunnan. Definitely two teams of minds versus muscle. And then we have Team Spran trying to close the gates. While that's all going on, we see that Sasha is feeling a bit of guilt now that Anne has pretty much cut ties with her. Over the course of the series, we have slowly seen Anne stand up to Sasha, but this episode was by far the most defiant we have seen Anne when it comes to standing up to her. And we clearly see it's affected Sasha because she questions if she really is a horrible person. And in this particular moment of starting a rebellion and betraying your friends, yes, that's a pretty horrible thing to do. But Sasha has always been a character of complexity. It often feels like a step forward and then a step back when it comes to her doing the right thing. But Anne cutting ties with her really seems to be the thing that's making her question her decisions, even not knowing what she really wants anymore. I feel this is an instance where Sasha has finally gotten what she wanted, but she didn't have any plans for what happens after. Plus, Anne and Marcy not agreeing with her on the rebellion is leaving her feeling pretty lonely. Basically, ruling Amphibia doesn't seem to give her the sense of accomplishment that she thought it would and is feeling pretty lost. And I also really like how much of a dad Grime is being in this scene. But this leads to the two doing some interior decorating and discovering a mural behind a tapestry. I don't know why Andrias decided to keep this in his castle because you would think someone would have discovered it before. But from this mural we see Andrias with the box, 3 figures with a blue flame above them, likely connected to the powers Anne has later on in this episode. We also see the eyes of the creature that we saw at the end of the first temple. In the middle, we see the floating castle, which ends up happening later. Below, we see 3 mossmen, a pile of skeletons, and possibly a shadowfish. A mossman was seen in the basement of the castle as well as the shadowfish, so these are somehow connected to Andrias' plan. Since the Calamity Box seems to be striking the pile of bones, this implies that the box would have caused a lot of destruction, which I guess shouldn't be that surprising. Around the edges of this mural, we also see the image of the tech that was used in the Ruins of Despair. And as we'll see later in this episode, the box can actually control the production of these robots. So definitely a lot of lore and foreshadowing in this one image. Realizing the seriousness of the situation, Sasha and Grime try to stop Anne and Sprig from closing the gate. And for pretty much the first time in the whole series, Sasha doesn't want to fight or have conflict. Anne, however, is understandably upset and hurt by Sasha betraying her and not listening. And I don't blame Anne here, Sasha has hurt her one too many times to be so trusting. But from Sasha's perspective, she's actually trying to do the right thing. But this tension leads to the two fighting atop the gate while Sprig fights Grime. Anne is able to defeat Sasha and close the gate, while the other groups are able to defeat the Toads and free Andrias. With Andrias safe, the Newts are able to defeat the remaining Toads and capture Grime and Sasha. And Sasha knows that this is going to go badly, begging Anne not to hand over the box. I mean, I think this phase should have been a dead giveaway not to give the box to Andrias, but Anne really has no reason to trust Sasha at this point. And now it's time for our villain monologue and lore dump with Andrias talking about the history of Newtopia. Newtopia was once more powerful. During this time, it appears Frobos were more common, which makes sense since this is ancient tech and Andrias is over 1,000 years old. We then see Andrias along with the other 2 individuals from the picture that was found in the basement. Apparently Andrias considered these 2 his friends, but they left him and stole the box. Based on the silhouette, it's the frog. And the resemblance to Sprig is definitely worth mentioning. There has been the theory floating around that this could be Sprig and Polly's mom. I'm not sure if it's been confirmed how long frogs live, but I'm assuming it's not for thousands of years like Andrias. From After the Rain, we also know that Sprig and Polly's parents were killed in a heron attack. At least that's what we're led to believe at this point. At the very least, this could possibly be a relative or ancestor of the Plantars. Andrias also reveals that his ancestors were not peaceful explorers, but rather conquerors. I'm also wondering if that creature in the basement is one of these ancestors. Since it appears in the mural and Andrias seems to serve under it, it must be even older than Andrias. And surprisingly, it doesn't make an appearance in this episode. I thought we'd get something with this thing, but I guess that will be saved for next season. But with the box returned, Newtopia's castle begins ascending, to where we're not entirely sure. But the box also activates all of the ruins, beginning production on the bots again. This time around, more menacing than the Frobo that we know. So with the group captured and surrounded, Andrias reveals his plan to be total world domination, not only of Amphibia, but every world. And this guy literally has a laser cannon on a flying city, so yeah, that's gonna be pretty hard to stop that. But nevertheless, Anne and Sasha understand that they have to put their differences aside to stop Andrias. And yes, Anne, you probably should have been a bit more suspicious of this guy. But before there is any fight, Marcy steps in claiming that Andrias went back on his promise of no one getting hurt. This leads to a liar revealed moment with Marcy having knowledge of the Calamity Box and using it to avoid her having to move away. Andrias also promised that he would take Marcy and everyone else along to the New Worlds so they could continue having adventures, though he had no intention of doing so. But to Marcy, who was trying to escape her life back on Earth, that sounded like a dream come true. Not having to go back home, staying with her friends, and going on adventures that she could only imagine. Outside of the obvious problems of her lying and trapping her friends in another world, she also tries to justify it by noting how much everyone has grown and changed, and that it wouldn't have happened without her. And while yes, everyone has grown, it doesn't justify the fact that Marcy lied and made a selfish choice. I know Marcy didn't think that the box would actually work, but if she wanted to be completely honest and felt remorse for her actions, she could have come clean the moment she reunited with Anne and Sasha. By continuing to hide the truth, Marcy was desperately hanging on to her own desires of not wanting to be alone at the expense of everyone else. I don't think Marcy is a bad person. Like Sasha, she just made some really bad and selfish choices. Even Anne admits that the three girls have all made mistakes, but they are nothing in comparison to Andrias and his actions. And with that, everyone puts their differences aside to stop him. And things go pretty well at first until Andrias destroys Frobo, remarking that he was probably defective anyway. Polly is obviously upset about losing what was essentially her younger brother, but thankfully timing is on her side because she just got her legs and is able to snag the box. However, it's a short-lived victory because Andrias threatens to drop Sprig out the window. And though they return the box, Andrias sees this as an opportunity to teach Anne about the pain of losing a friend. My guess is that whoever the frog and toad are that Andrias was friends with disagreed with his ideas of conquering other worlds and left him and stole the box to stop his efforts. This is obviously still a thorn in Andrias' side since he wants Anne to feel the same way he did. The flashbacks that play here are nice, but my favorite has got to be the newly animated shot from the season 1 ending theme. It was one of my favorite parts of the series, and seeing it from a slightly different perspective is a nice touch. Now at this point, Anne is so overcome with anger that she basically goes Super Saiyan. Because she didn't completely drain herself of her powers, she still has whatever is left. If you look back at the mural, there's a blue flame in it, and Anne's hair definitely resembles fire. I'm wondering if Sasha and Marcy have similar powers if they reconnect themselves with the other gems. But the fight between Anne and Andrias is easily one of the best scenes in the series so far, if not the best. It also easily has the best animation in the entire show thus far. Whoever boarded this did a phenomenal job, and I hope the boards get posted to Twitter at some point because I would love to see them. Also, huge shout out to TJ Hill for the score here. I literally got chills when watching this scene and listening to the music. I really hope that this track gets uploaded at some point because it's just that good, but the crew did such a wonderful job with this scene, and I hope they're all incredibly proud of it. Now, while Anne is busy dealing with Andrias, Marcy goes to save Sprig with Joe Sparrow. Andrias is also able to summon a shield, showing that he has even more powers than what we have seen so far. Although it really doesn't stand a chance against Anne. However, she still can't control her powers as pointed out by Andrias and tires herself out. But I'm wondering if her learning to control these powers will be something that we'll focus on in season 3. Also, if Sasha and Marcy have similar powers. Andrias also refers to these powers as the gift, and by Anne still having it, she must be killed. But before Andrias can take Anne and the Plantars out, Marcy opens up a portal back to Earth. Sasha and Grime hold Andrias off to buy them some time, and I'm hoping that this is the start of their redemption arc. Up until now, they have both been pretty self-centered and goal-oriented, but now with an enemy like Andrias, maybe they'll start coming around. Anne and the Plantars are able to go through the portal. Marcy claims that she has something else to do before entering as well, but before she can do so, she's stabbed by Andrias. I'm guessing this is what the content warning was for, and also the delay in the episode releasing. Now there are two things I want to talk about here. One, what was the other thing Marcy needed to do before walking through the portal? And I'm wondering if it was something that could make sure Andrias wouldn't follow them. Unfortunately, we probably won't know until next season. And two, and probably the bigger question, is Marcy alive? From a story perspective, I want to say yes. Marcy was absent all of season 1, and we just met her a quarter of the way through season 2. Killing her off now would make me feel like there was a lot we would miss out on with her story. It would definitely be a bold move to kill her off, but I would be left feeling unsatisfied with her arc and development. But it definitely doesn't look good for Marcy. She literally got a magic sword stabbed through her. But from Maddie and Marcy, we do know that resurrection is possible. So even if Marcy was killed, there is the chance that could come back and help her. Also, the Calamity Box seems to have an insane amount of power, so maybe that will somehow heal or resurrect Marcy. But regardless, I think this was an awesome choice by Matt and the crew, and I'm glad that this scene remained in the episode. I always think it's important to retain the creator's original vision for shows. But aside from Marcy's fate, there is also the big question of what Anne and the Plantars are going to do now that they are on Earth. Yeah, you didn't think this was going to be the way that they would visit your world, huh, Anne? Now, I will point out that Frobo is still with them, so maybe they can try and get him repaired. Obviously not to the extent of what he was before, but maybe just so he can turn back on. The Calamity Box also appears to be back in Amphibia, so I'm guessing that Anne and the Plantars are going to try and get back to Sasha and Marcy. But without the box, that will be hard. I'm wondering if they're going to go back to the thrift shop and track down the person who left it there to get answers. Meanwhile, Sasha will probably be taking care of the Marcy situation and trying to figure out a way to get back to Earth. And I think it's really interesting that the trio is split now, but I think there's a lot of potential to keep checking in on each world and seeing how each of the girls are doing in trying to get everyone back together. True Colors definitely threw a lot at us as we now wait for season 3, but it was also the best episode out of the series so far. I can definitely see why Matt and the crew needed all 24 minutes. And hopefully with how good this episode was, it will get some attention and bring some more viewers into the series now that it's on hiatus. But congrats again to Matt and the crew for an amazing episode. You guys really outdid yourselves and should be incredibly proud. I know I certainly enjoyed True Colors, and I'm sure others did as well. And you've certainly given us a lot to think about for where the story is going to go as we now wait for season 3. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day, and until next time guys, take care.